Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, TammyTalks here. Let's talk Xscape and SWV's new show, Queens of R&B. So before we get started, if you are brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns on various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So if you enjoy that type of content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, hop in the comment section so we can talk about everything that happened in this intro episode. All right, so just a little background information on the two groups. We know that Xscape is comprised of 4 women from Atlanta, which is Tamika Tiny Cotto, now Harris, because she's married to T.I., Candy Burress, and then we have the sisters LaTocha Scott and Tamika Scott. Over on SWV side, who is comprised of 3 women from New York. I'm saying New York State because I don't know exactly in New York where they're from. But that is Taj, Coco, and Lily. All right. So we know that they are both, in terms, they're both, to me, I think they're both mega groups. I know some people might say that they weren't like super crossover worthy, but they were really big girl groups, both of them in their own right. SWV came out first, and Xscape came out, I think they said, 2 or 3 years later. So fun fact, for those of y'all that might not know, but SWV was originally going to be called TLC. Taj, Lily, Coco. But then we had our TLC that actually came out, and I think, I don't want to say rose to stardom first, but they might have. So that's why they just became Sisters with Voices, which is SWV. So I didn't take a lot of notes on this episode because I figured that it would be a lot of background information, like a kind of history lesson. But there are like two bigger scenes, and I'll say 3 situations that we can talk about with this first episode. So it starts off with Tiny, Tamika, and Candy are in the studio. Now they're talking about how they're supposed to be doing this tour, this show with SWV. So for those of us that, back in the good old days of Verzuz, before Triller completely took it over, the Verzuz battles, we had Xscape and we had the SWV one, which went very, very well. I think it got really good ratings and views. So on stage, as a lot of these Verzuz turned into, the two groups who are friends, very cordial, respectful of each other, having a level of admiration and respect for each other. They said that they were going to do a joint tour, which would be dope. I would like to go, okay? I would definitely go. I am an 80s baby, true 90s kid. So I was born mid-80s, so I remember listening to all their music in the 90s, whether I should have been listening to it or not, because I was definitely under 18. Nonetheless, so that's what this show is surrounding, them trying to get this show together so that they can go on tour with each other. So we have Tiny, Tamika, and Candy, and they're sitting in the studio, and they're talking about this tour. So they're talking about, like, where's Tasha? Tasha's not there because Tasha has an issue with the group. And they bring up the issue of this group text. Tiny, who is cracking up about this, said that Tasha feels that her sister Tamika body shamed her. So everybody's like, body shame? So apparently they were doing some type of show. Candy and Tamika shared a trailer. Tiny and Tasha were sharing a trailer. For some reason, Tamika and Candy got locked out of their trailer, and Tasha didn't stay to check on her sister or see if she was cool. Tasha just got going, and Tamika felt a way about that. So within the group chat, it was some, y'all know we can't cuss on YouTube no more, but it was a, y'all can kiss my butt, and they all thought that it was a joking. So Tasha said, y'all can kiss my butt, insert appropriate word, and Tamika wrote back, if you had a butt to kiss. Tasha took that as body shaming. What we are going to see on this show It's that Tasha is, always was, forever will be the reason that Xscape never soared to higher levels. Tasha has always been problematic. Tasha has always wanted to be the I am Tasha and this is Xscape. That's what Tasha is giving. That's what Tasha has always wanted to give. We go over to Tasha, and Tasha is talking to her confessional, saying that, she was always the fat girl in the group. Tasha was heavier than them. Yes, we all clearly saw it, but nobody ever, people are mean, okay? So I'm not going to say nobody ever, but people are mean. But it never once took away from her voice, because so many people would say, Tasha is the best singer in the group. Tasha is the voice of Xscape. We have always said that. People always still say that now. So Tasha said that because she was always known as the fat girl of the group, she remembers a time where they were performing, and she was, I guess somebody came up to her, or she heard people saying, oh, that big girl, she's the best singer, or something to that effect. And Tasha was like, but did anybody ever tell her my name was Tasha? In that respect, yeah, we're on your side, Tasha, but your sister didn't body shame you. Okay, so then we see SWV, who has a better working relationship with each other. So they're all talking, and they're talking to, I think it was like maybe their manager or somebody, one of their agents or something, who presents the idea. Coco, did y'all catch Coco's face? How she kind of screwed up her face and low-key rolled her eyes? Because, Coco is which we all know. Coco didn't want to do that, but I think Coco knew that it would bring in the money, it would bring in some dollar signs, and SWV is not SWV without Coco, because she is their voice, right? Not to say that Lily and Taj can't sing, but Coco is SWV. LaTocha is not Xscape, because the way that the three of them are on tour right now and still performing and singing, and Tamika can sing all her sister's parts, yeah. But, good luck, Tasha. Good luck in whatever you choose to do, sweetheart, because I feel like eventually you're going to be back with the group. So we see Xscape, like I said, we see SWV. They're doing good. We pan back over. This is a very Xscape-centric episode, and we get to see all the members of Xscape with their family. We see Candy with Todd and their younger kids, Ace and Blaze. We see LaTocha with her son and Rocky. We see Tamika with her husband, and we see Tiny with, I know for sure that was Major and Aries, and then a whole bunch of other people that were there. So they sit down, and Taj organizes this lunch for them to come and talk, and we can talk about this show. So they're all coming in. I didn't like the setup. It was very tacky to me. Why are we sitting at these wedding party reception tables? We're sitting on one table. Y'all are faces. Why couldn't it be a big table? I didn't like it. But they're sitting down, and they're all talking about, we can do this, and, we can have a intimate setting, probably a city winery, a house of blues, small theater type tour. Everybody's excited. Everybody's throwing out stuff. Everybody's happy. Tasha is sitting there screwed up in the face. For one, when Tamika came in and spoke to her sister, she was met with a cold shoulder. And I'm like, okay, we see how Tasha's going to be this entire time. Because remember, Tasha's mad that Tamika body shamed her, right? So when they're sitting around talking, Tasha was like, are you okay, Tasha? What's wrong? Because you look like something's wrong. Tasha was like, I'm not excited. Girl, if you didn't want to do it, why did you sign on to do it? Why did you agree to do it? Come on, Tasha. It's one thing. Okay, let me hold off on that. So she said that, and so Taj was like, okay, so why? Coco is again all frowned up in the face. Candy is rolling her eyes. Tiny just laughs at everything. And Tamika Scott is like, here we go again, because this is what Tasha does. So Tasha said, we have issues within our group that we need to work out before we can even begin, to go to this next level. So Coco was in her confessional or was it Lily? SWV, they all have this consensus of, if y'all can't even work out what y'all got to do, how are we going to go on the tour? We have our own issues too within SWV, but we pull it together because our fans who have gotten us to the point that you can even act like the fake diva that you think you are, they got us to that level. So Lily is just telling them, look, this is for the fans. You know what I mean? No one is bigger than the group. This is something that we owe to our fans because, you know, our fans got us to this point. You know what I mean? Y'all are pushing 50 if some of y'all aren't there already, and y'all still have a dedicated fan base that is allowing y'all to do this, what y'all have been doing for the past 30 years. Pull it together. Get it together. But you know, Tasha is Tasha. So we see SWV. SWV said that, we got something to do tomorrow. So SWV actually went to Ghana to perform for what Tasha said was a $6.5 million deal. Now, I didn't know if that was, a 6.5 figure paycheck. Now, I didn't know, because to me that gives 1.5 million. If that's 1.5 million a piece, do it. Do it. That's it. That is it. So we see them going over there and working through everything. But then in flip, we see Xscape still having the same issues that haunted them in the 90s and why they can't get it together. So we see Candy talking to Todd about it while, they're cooking dinner with the kids. And Todd is just like, y'all are acting like 90s era girls. This is what y'all do. But at the end of the day, you owe it to your fans. And I know somebody's going to say that they don't owe their fans anything. Fans are entitled, blah, blah, blah. Very true. But when you are living a successful life that you are because your fans have bought the tickets and bought the albums and all the other kind of stuff, like y'all can't pull it together to go get a bag real quick? Really? Y'all are doing all this over a group chat in which, and here's the thing, if Tasha feels that if the way Tasha feels is the way Tasha feels, I'm a very big person that if you feel a certain way, you are entitled to your feelings, right? But the way that Tasha is handling this is like a little kid. We see who the problem in the group is. Like, people used to always say that Candy was the problem in the group because of Mama Joyce. Tasha is the problem in the group, and we're going to see it this season on this show. So we then get Tamika, who is with her daughter Ocean, and she's saying that her mom has summoned her over to the house because her mother got wind that her and Tasha weren't speaking. So they just have their mother. It seems like their dad was out of the picture when they were relatively young. So their mom has been, kind of a single parent raising the both of them. Tamika's experience is that I love my mother. My mom is everything to me, but my mom has favorites. And she feels that Tasha is the favorite. Over on Tasha's side is my mom is everything. My mom is the best. I ain't got no issues with my mama because you're the favorite. So they get over to the house, and Tamika has her daughter with her, I guess, so she can have one ally in the room. And they have this back and forth exchange where, for one, when Tamika came in, Tasha stood up, "Hey girl, how you doing?" Tried to give her a hug. Tamika was like, "Oh, we hugging today?" "Girl, we always hug." Bravo said, "Do y'all?" Because just, 2 days ago at lunch, you didn't hug your sister. LaTocha Scott is going to see how Bravo edits. Bravo don't play games with people. Bravo will slip a flashback in a clip right in that moment to call you out on your hypocrisy and your lies. Bravo said, "We don't do that over here. We don't lie over here, sis." So Bravo, of course, puts in the clip of LaTocha acting like, she didn't even know who her sister was. But now that we in front of mama, I'm going to put on a good show today. So they're talking about this whole situation where Tasha feels that Tamika body shamed her. Tamika said nobody body shamed you though. How was that body shaming you? So Tamika gets up and demonstrates how Tasha walked out and left her. While this is happening, the mother mouths to Tasha she's jealous. Miss Gloria, you have caused this division between your sisters. You have caused this division between your daughters. Wow, what would she be jealous of her for? How is her telling that story? How does that equate to jealousy? How does that equate to jealousy? Oh, I felt so bad for Tamika in that moment because we could see how this conversation is going to go. So then Tasha says something to the effect of, I know we're sisters. I can't do nothing about that. Now, Tamika is low-key offended by that. You can tell that Tamika's feelings were hurt about that. The mother was like, that hurt your feelings? Well, hell, saying if you had to ask the kiss hurt hers, what's the difference? I hate to see familial units where, one, there's favoritism, and two, where you have a mother, a parent that is really the driving force behind the division, the infighting, and the sibling rivalry that is going on. Tasha and Tamika's mother, Miss Gloria, is keeping that alive. So then it turns into Tamika being like, this is how it's always been. It's 2 against 1. Everything that I say is wrong and you call me out for everything, but you don't ever say anything to Tasha. So then she tells her mom, you always get quiet when Tasha is wrong. So then Tasha's like, why you want mama to turn against me? And she's like, there was a smirk in that. And I'm like, because you know what's going on, Tasha. You know what's going on. But if you want to play games, go ahead and play games. Don't play in our face because we're watching it. We're watching it. So then Tamika yells out, just like you were quiet when Tasha and Rocky stole my money. And I said, here we go. Here we go. Because a money issue is always going to come up. A money issue is always going to come up in a group. So according to Tamika, they started getting a new type of royalty, probably from their streams, album sales, whatever the case. We know that Rocky, who was Tasha's husband, is he still? He's had a very big part in the group. I don't know if he was the entire group's manager I know he's not now, I don't think. But he used to be the entire group's manager, but he really manages Tasha for sure. So Tamika said that I guess Tiny's mother told her about this new royalty. She did some digging to find out about it and found out that her checks were going to Rocky for some reason. And that the checks had been cashed into his account. So Tamika says that LaTocha and Rocky stole $30,000 from her. So Tasha and Miss Gloria both now get quiet. They try to laugh it off at first. Then when Tamika was like, because you can still go to jail for that. That's theft. Do you want to go to jail or are we going to have a real conversation about this? So then it became Miss Gloria. It wasn't funny anymore. Now we're not laughing anymore. Now it's not a key anymore. Now it's just cut the cameras. Get the cameras out of my house. No, because you effed up. You know that you're being real fugazi and you know that you were picking sides with your daughter, the one that stole the money allegedly. Is it because you got a kickback from it? How much of that $30K did you get, Miss Gloria? How much did you get? What did you get out of it? A car? Couple purses? You got something out of that woman's money, and that's why you're so quick now to let's cut the cameras. But when Tamika y'all was just laughing at her about it. So now that Tasha's in the hot seat, oh, we don't want this aired. Tasha got an evil spirit around her, y'all. She is such an evil, just discernment about herself. So the camera's cut off, and then we see the trailer for this upcoming season. We know that Coco has already confirmed in an interview on her YouTube channel. Ain't no show, ain't no tour, ain't no nothing. We know that the two groups are butting heads about who should headline, who's the opener. I really don't know who I think should be the opener. I like both groups evenly. I definitely reach to play Xscape more, but I like both groups equally. They might have to, like, I don't know, take turns every other night. You know, you headline, then we headline. I don't know how it's going to go. But let me know what you guys thought about this very first episode of SWV and Xscape, Queens of R&B. I'm going to keep doing the recaps on this. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, thumbs up the video. Hop in the comment section, y'all. Let's talk about it. And I will catch you guys in the next one.